It's Matthew Dixon of mindhay.ca. I started looking for some funding opportunities today online. A friend of mine said that he might be able to help me approach drug companies for funding. He's uh, uh, busy with other things right now, but so I thought I'd look for myself. I Googled funding drug companies, and I don't know what drug companies. Well, I know some drug companies that make antipsychotics. Like I'm on an antipsychotic, so I don't know. Anyway, some of the company I did a quick scan, and often when I do a quick scan of something, I'll get not overwhelmed, but just like there's too much to do. I don't know if I'll be able to do this. So I know just give me a day or two, and I go back onto those sites, and I'll say, oh, this is something I could do. So so I did that, and I went on a few sites, and they said things like. It might take a while to process it, like in a month or two from now. And I knew the biggest challenge for me to do this bike trip across Canada would be the funding and organizing that, also putting on events along the way. So I'm thinking the bare bones, if I can get myself on a bike across Canada this summer, no matter how that looks, I will be very happy. Very happy. I reached out to a guy on Kijiji, the rideshare, to looking for drives across Canada this summer. I'd be looking to leave late May, early June to get out. The first day of the ride is June 4th, leaving from Vancouver. He got back to me talking a little bit about that. That would be the cheapest way, I think, to get out there, to give him some gas money. I could get a train via rail across Canada. That would be more expensive. I could get a plane ticket out there. I'm trying not to fly. I haven't officially taken a no-flight pledge, but I would like to just reduce my greenhouse gas emissions as much as possible. If I do get a support vehicle, I could drive that out there. I'm also thinking, well, maybe I don't want a support vehicle for greenhouse gas emissions. Plus, it would cost more to pay for the vehicle for a person to drive it, for a hotel room for that person. So it's more funding to ask for people. So my mind's going back and forth with things. I don't know exactly how to look out, but the other thing is that if it was just me on my bike across Canada, I could stay at campgrounds. It's not ideal for using the internet and for doing interviews and whatnot, but I could do that. A friend, someone I met in Fredericton, had biked across Canada a number of years ago, and he and his friend actually knocked on doors along the way and said, "Hi, can we camp in your backyard?" And they did that the whole way across Canada. They actually got picky and started looking for nice homes with like pools in the background to ask to camp in their backyard. Often they'd say, "Sure, you can come in and stay with us." There's a warm showers dot something. It's where bicyclists looking for a warm shower, and it's other bicyclists host. They go on the platform, say you can stay at our house if you're biking through, and you can get a warm shower. And I believe stay the night too. I'll have to look it up. So there's that. Me just getting across Canada wouldn't be that much money. I'd just be paying for food and a place to stay, essentially. And I'd have my car loan for my car back at home here that I'd have to pay off, and some other small fees like phone fees, that sort of thing. But insurance for my car and whatnot. But really, it's not a ton of money. A few thousand maybe to get across Canada for 2.5 months for my trip for bare bones. Something like that anyway, ballpark. Um, I've thought of reaching out to the town halls, city halls of the towns I'll be going through to talk to them, saying, look, I'll be coming through town. Can I speak to people along when I'm in your community at some sort of event? I'm looking at a way to organize this myself. If people want to help me organize, that would be great. A friend of mine who's raised money, he said a good bet would be to contact Rotary clubs and ask for like $500 or something. A lot of people can get donations that way. So I thought I will reach out to Rotary clubs across Canada and say, look, I can speak to your club for a small donation. Would you be interested? So I think that might be my next step here, to send out a bunch of emails like that. So I looked at a magazine cover, Schizophrenia Digest, back many years ago, and it was a guy with schizophrenia cycling. He was a competitive cycler. He had a road bike, all the gear, and he was on the front cover of the magazine. And I thought, wow, I wish I could do that, but I could not with this disease, and I wish I could. And I don't know, part of me is thinking, is this the wisest thing to do, Matthew? Bike across Canada, you could be hit by a truck and become a quadriplegic or die. Is this the best use of your time? You could spend many years advocating helping other people with mental illness or schizophrenia get help. And if you get hit by a truck, what's the point of that? That does go through my head, but I just want to do it, and I don't know why. Maybe it's a curse, but I want to. I've done it before. It's fun. I haven't done it with schizophrenia. I could be the first person with schizophrenia to bike across Canada. And maybe there aren't many people out there who would say, I wish there was someone who has schizophrenia and who's biked across Canada who I could look up to. Maybe there aren't many of them, but maybe there are. Look at all the Olympic athletes, all the NBA basketball players who inspire kids to play sports, to have goals, to achieve, to have a purpose, to help other people. Maybe I could be one of those. And if people want to help out in any way, please reach out to me. I'm trying to do this myself, organizing it so far, and I knew it would be a challenge, but the other thing is today I feel so full of vim and vigor, and today is such an easier day. I feel so much happier. This is probably the biggest switch from winter into spring I've ever had. I've never had SAD, seasonal affective disorder, but spring is hitting me really well this year, and with the slightly warmer weather, I am really enjoying just my happiness about life. It feels good to be alive, and I haven't been able to say that since I was a teenager, and I'm 51 now. I know I have the physical strength, the mental capability to do the actual biking of the trip. I know I can do this. I know I can. I can't say that 100%. I may get an injury, whatever, but I've got the will to do that, and I'm chomping at the bit to do this trip. If you want to help, please do. If you want to donate, right now I have a Patreon page. You can make monthly donations there, small to large. I have a PayPal donation page. These two links are on my mindaid.ca website, mindaid.ca. I accept for people in Canada e-transfers to info@mindaid.ca. And the other thing about funding is that some of them require me to be a charity, which I'm not. I'm raising funds for charities, registered charities, but I myself am not. I'm technically an individual, so that may present some problems. I may decide to become a charity fairly soon here. I think for $150 or some small sum, you can become a charity, and then it can accept donations, and then I would give them out to the mental health organizations that I steer people towards at MindAid. So that's what's going through my head. Happy Easter. It's coming up, everybody. Hope you're enjoying, for those in the Northern Hemisphere, hope you're enjoying some slightly warmer weather now. And keep on keeping on. Life is beautiful, and if you're not in a state where life is beautiful, keep fighting for it, because you don't know what the future may hold. You don't know what tomorrow may bring. Life is full of mystery and miracles, and things can happen to you, even though you think they may not. They just might. Talk to you later.